At the door, little paws on the hardwood floor. Now it's quiet, way too quiet. I still look down like you're beside me. You were sleeping more each day. I saw the shine in you slip away. Try to be strong, try to be brave, but I broke when we heard what they say. Beauty, beauty, you fill this house with light now. Every hallway feels too wide at night. Beauty, beauty, best friend, heart so true. You took a piece of us to heaven. We'll send our love up to you.
By the couch still waits. Got your fur on my favorite blanket. I swear I hear your coloring. Turn around but it's just remembering from the backseat rides. Window down to the lazy days just lying around. You were so much more than a pet. You're the kind of love we don't forget. Beauty, 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 you fill this house with light now. Every hallway feels too wide at night. Beauty, beauty, best friend, heart so true. You took a piece of us to heaven. We'll send our love up to you. Was it too fast, too fast to say goodbye? One bad news call, then time just flew by. I held you close, you look so tired. I whispered, go where there's no fire. So running fields we can't see it, where your brave little body can finally rest. When we get there, save us a place. I know that tale, that smiling face. Beauty, oh beauty, oh beauty, you fill this house with light now. Every hallway feels too wide at night. Beauty, oh beauty, best friend, heart so true. Void in the rooms where you used to be, but our hearts stay full of beauty, beauty, name I still call out. Every tear, every laugh, that's what love's about. Beauty, beauty, we'll see you again someday. Till then, keep running in heaven. We'll love you always, always, always.
Hey y'all, it's still Saturday, and I have been trying my best to get things done around the house, and this grief is killing me. I can't get nothing done. I know I haven't posted this yet, but our baby died. Our baby went to heaven 8 days ago, and our baby Beauty, y'all, we are just like, we keep trying to help each other and we keep breaking down. Y'all, this house is so empty without her. If you are a furry baby parent, you know. We've had her almost 15 years and we are like struggling so bad. It hurts so bad. Oh, God. can't get nothing done. Yes, my love. We both keep breaking down. Hold on a minute. I got it. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I don't know where this video gonna go, but it's like both of us keep breaking down. It's like we both have our moments where one of us will be okay and the other one is like crying like crazy or start crying. And then I start working, and then all of a sudden I hear Cam working on a video for Beauty, and I just start breaking down. Oh, y'all, this is crazy. Yo, we had Beauty since she was a baby. She wasn't even 6 weeks old yet. And yo, cancer ain't no joke when it comes to animals. So just the story. So last year we took Beauty into her vet, and we always take her in to get her anal glands expressed, right? So basically, when you see your dog scooching with their butt on the floor, they need to have their anal glands expressed, and they kind of pop them and stuff comes out of them or stuff like that, right? So we took her in last year, and she would have been 13 years old at that point. And if you're a pet owner, or if you just know that every year for a pet is always 7 years for that year. So if you think about it, if a pet is 10 years old and you add 70, they're not really 10 years old. Their body is 70 years old. So, so Beauty was like 13, so that would have put her at 100 years old. I guess at that point, my math is right now, I'm like totally off. And so we took her to get her anal glands popped like we do all the time, once a month. And one of the anal glands has a little mass on it. And they were like, well, the vet was like, well, it's kind of small right now. It's like this small or whatever. And right now it's not really causing an issue. And if it comes to where there's an issue, we'll address it then. Because right now, I really don't want to remove it because she's 13 years old. And under, if she has surgery, she just might not make it, but with her age. And so, so this went on for like a year, right? And then all of a sudden, Cam took me out for my birthday and planned this whole weekend where I was going to be gone. So anytime we go somewhere, we board Beauty at her vet. And so we boarded Beauty for her vet. And when I came back, I kind of noticed this little thing, like right before we left, but I noticed something. Her right back paw, she was kind of like walking like this with it, like the nails and stuff would go like this, and she would walk on top of it, and I'm like, what's that? And so I'm gonna start this video over again, y'all, because I want this to be a separate video by itself. I'll be back. Actually, I could just keep with this video, y'all. So I noticed that she was kind of walking, and I thought maybe her nails need to be trimmed, right? Because we do that too. We take her to get her nails trimmed at her vet. And I noticed it, and I kept a mental note, and I told Cam, I said, well, why is she walking on her little things like this? But yeah, so we took her to the vet. We had our weekend in Atlanta, and then we came back and we picked her up. And then she started, like, we wasn't sure if she was using the bathroom, if she was like not peeing, if she was not pooping. So in January, we took her, and my birthday is like December 12th, and we've been noticing stuff, but she was still like sort of kind of the same. We didn't, notice anything extra she was doing. And so, January, we took her to the vet because we wasn't sure if she was using the restroom or not when we took her out to potty. And I was like, so I called the vet and I was like, hey, I said, well, Cam took her into the vet and said to check and see if she's using the bathroom. Something's not right. Let the doctor look at it or whatever. And so he finally called us back. And I'm going to tell y'all, between Cam and I am the one that's always very strategic. I watch and that's the Sagittarius in me. I watch every detail. People may think I'm not looking or listening, and I'm just always Johnny on the spot. I can like see what you're doing a mile away. I can feel your energy. I can feel how you are with your hugs. I mean, just everything. I mean, that's just the Sagittarius in me. We just built that way. Period. Y'all, this video making me a little bit happier though. But yeah, so I said, well, Dr. Carpenter, that's her doctor's name. He owns the vet and nobody else can touch her except for him. Like if he's out of the office, we'll wait until he gets there. Unless it's like an extreme emergency. But we haven't had like extreme emergencies where we couldn't wait until he's in the office. And so I said, hold on. Because he was like, well, I checked on her and she's fine. I said, well, I called a little while ago to find out if she used the restroom. And he was like, well, let me check the notes and stuff. And I guess they said she used the restroom. I don't know. So I told him, I say, so Dr. Carpenter, I have some concerns. This is what she's doing and something is not right. I said, well, she has started, and you know, I do Google and look up stuff. I said, she started knuckling. She's kind of walking on her knuckles. And, you know, we didn't know if she was using the restroom or what was going on. Something is not right. So he looked at the notes because Cam took her in and then give him all the details. But Cam is like the mama. I'm the mama. And I watch everything. And I said, she's doing this. She's exhibiting this. She's doing this. She's doing this. So he was like, hold on a minute. He was like, okay, let me do this. I am going to call you back. I'm going to do another check on her. And then I'll be back. Yo, when he came back, he was like, so the mass has grown. And I'm like, okay. And he said it was like a size of like a pinto bean. And now it's like the size of a tangerine. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's why the bathroom thing was an issue. Because he thought she couldn't pee. But we were having issues with her not pooping. Because she has the mass is actually on her anal gland. And so y'all, he was like, when he called us back, right there, he was like, the cancer has spread it and there's cancer. And I'm like, ho. We just checked her blood in November. There was no cancer. What the crap is going on? So the mass, and I get from November to January, decided to grow. And it was causing her not to be able to poop or whatever. So it's growing. And at that point, he said, I'm so sorry. But at this point, it's about making her happy because she's almost 15 years old. And the cancer is aggressive. And he said, I'm going to give you what I can give you. And hopefully it'll help her as much as possible. So he gave her some steroids. He gave her some other things. And then I told him, I said, you know what? I noticed the fluids in the back of her legs are swelling up where I see a lot of fluids. And I don't know, it's shaking the back of the legs. She had kind of skinny legs. And now they're fat and they're sick. And he was like, yeah, the cancer basically went through her lithomic. Oh, I know I'm saying this wrong. But it's something to do with the fluids where it's not like flowing out where it should flow out. Lymphatic something. Yeah. If you have that medical degree, you already know. So her fluids were not flushing out. Her back part of her body was really big. One of her legs was really taking like a really excessive, excessive amount of fluid. Her foot was like a really large. And then we noticed she couldn't wag her tail anymore. It was just like limp. So it had started hitting on her nerves or something in the back where her back is. And the vet basically told us, you know, we just have to make her happy. And so I would call him with my questions. And you guys, Dr. Carpenter is so amazing. I would call him with my questions and say, well, can you just like, because one of her legs I felt was causing her the really, really, really big issue. I said, well, can you like put a needle in there and pull some of the fluids out so she can feel better? And he kind of laughed a little bit. And he was like, no, it doesn't work like that. He was like, it's like, it can't go that way. And I said, okay, but what can we do? I just want her here as long as possible. And he said, well, I didn't want to do this, but we can try it and see how it helps. So he gave her like some diuretics to like pull some of the fluids out. And y'all, it worked. Some of the fluids were coming out like crazy, right? But the problem comes into play. We saw like a difference in her. She kind of started being like lethargic and all type of stuff. And so I was like, okay, so now what's going on? So we took her off of that. And then he was telling us to try Rutin. And we bought the Rutin off of Amazon. Anything and everything we can do, we were going to do. We even bought her like this little boot to go on her foot to make her, instead of her walking like this on the knuckle, that it would like pull the hand, the paw out so she can walk on it. And that did not work. She would not allow us to put that on her foot. Point blank period. And then this mass was growing so huge on her anal gland to where now let me tell y'all something about Beauty. Beauty would not allow, when I say not, in these 15 years almost, you could not pay Beauty to poop in the house, pee in the house. That is like a no-no. She barks and it's time to go out. If she's probably had in the 15 years, almost 15 years, she's probably pooped like 3 times. And that was because it was us being lazy, not taking her out. Or number 2, that she had diarrhea from like, you know how dogs get in the garbage? She'll get in the garbage and eat something bad and she'll have diarrhea. And that's only happened like 3 times, if that many times. Because you couldn't pay Beauty to poop in this house. We would go to work and put her in her crate, and she would be in her crate from 8 in the morning until we get home at 6, and then she go potty and release herself, no problems. With this mass was just making poop come out like on its own. She can walk and poop will come out. She'll try to wag her tail and poop will come out. Y'all, I'm going to make a video for this particular cancer because it's so, like, aggressive and horrible. And I think whoever sees it, they'll know once they find out if their pet does have this. Y'all, this cancer was so freaking aggressive that Beauty was a pitch black. When I say black, she was black. Until she started getting older, and then at that point she started getting like the white nose, and then it started gradually coming all the way up to her eyes and stuff where she had the white the white fur in her eyes. Y'all, this cancer was so aggressive, it turned all of her black fur on her body part brown. It was taking the nutrition from her body. The nutrition was being sucked out of her body to where she had started eating her poop. The pills that she was on, the steroids, and the other pill, I can't remember the name right now. This particular pill had her where she was like ravenously hungry. So we were constantly giving her food, but then this mass had her little rectum part where it would only come out a little bit. So yeah, we was doing everything we can do not to have her like bowels back up. So we were putting like a little olive oil in whatever food we gave her to make her have that it comes out at least. The night before Beauty passed on March the 20th of 2026, Cam, y'all, I have to give applause to my husband because Cam stayed in the theater room. Now, Cam and I have been married almost 30 years. So we don't separate unless one of us is going on a vacation or something without the other, but we don't separate. So Cam actually took almost 3 months and stayed in the theater room, and we set up like in the theater room for Cam and Beauty. I want to say February we did that. And y'all, oh, I forgot to tell y'all, this is another thing. The poop that was coming out of Beauty, or the farts, were like sewer. It smelled so freaking bad that it was like you could throw up from the scent, and there was all the cancer. So with this journey, y'all, I am going to do something to advocate. I mean, there's really nothing you can do once your pet gets cancer. Like for us, we could have put Beauty did like chemo and stuff for Beauty, but with that, again, we know chemo hurts and it makes them sick. And then you got a dog that's over 100 years old. So, and then it's still, she could have died on the table. You know, it's just so many things. And that morning was really horrible for her and horrible for us, horrible for our cleaning lady that came over. But she did an amazing job, because we were like distraught. I'm so glad she was here. So I got up to get ready for work. Oh, no, I didn't. I had PTO that day. I was going to the Crystal Gem Show to buy crystals for our online store. And Cam just said, baby, I'm going to take PTO off. And when you come back, we can just enjoy each other, you know, spend some time with Beauty. And y'all, so Cam, both of us had PTO. I had put my PTO in like a couple weeks before. And I was headed to the gym show. I was going to do a solo date with myself, right? I was going to get me some sushi and all that good stuff. But God had other plans. The night before, Cam cleaned up the theater room, and this was something that Cam was doing all the time with cleaning up the theater room, because Beauty would have poop everywhere. We had the diaper pads everywhere and everything, but it was like 3 times a day. We were like thoroughly like cleaning the room. That night before, I went to Target and I went to buy a lot of smell good products, like plug-ins and everything to make the room smell better. Cam sent me a video on Thursday of Beauty, and her breathing was like so bad. I was like, oh my God, how's she breathing like that? It was really labored. It was hard. And we just thought her heart was going to bust. That's how bad she was breathing. And so that night, Thursday night, I laid on the floor with her while Cam cleaned up her area, and I just gave her kisses and hugs. And then when I hugged her, I felt her shaking, like her body was quivering. And the only time that happens is when around the 4th of July, or when people start like popping firecrackers and things. That's when her body shivers like that. And we both have to hold her. We'll like wrap her like, what do you call that? When you do the baby like swaddling, we have to swaddle her, and both of us hold her really, really, really tightly to stop her from shivering. She doesn't like the gunshots when people like shoot guns, and she doesn't like firecrackers. And that's how her body was shivering, just like somebody was popping firecrackers. And I'm like, oh my God, my baby is in pain. She was hurting. And so Cam, we got her room already, and we put her back in the room, and Cam got her settled, and she finally was getting a little bit of sleep. So Cam said, I'm going to come upstairs with you, and I'll stay upstairs with you for a couple hours, and then I'll come downstairs. And so I think it was maybe 6 or 7 in the morning when Cam got up, and Cam went downstairs to normally take Beauty out. Beauty was still actually going out to this is the crazy part, y'all. Beauty was still actually like holding her pee. So Cam got up to take Beauty out to go pee, and Cam did not notice what was going on, but y'all, it was craziness. Cam just took her in there. But y'all, Beauty had bit off like 2 or 3 of her toes or something, just chewing all over the night, and there was just blood everywhere. And Cam just really didn't notice it. And there was just blood everywhere, and I heard a noise, and I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? And basically, Beauty went to potty, and I guess the blood had kind of dried up a little bit, so Cam didn't really see it. And Cam went to bring her up the stairs, and she hit her face on the steps. And then that's when Cam realized there was like freaking blood everywhere. She started bleeding again. And then I came downstairs, I saw blood, and I'm just panicking like crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So we took her to the vet, and he told us, if she starts to eating on body parts and stuff, like, call me immediately. And we took her in, and y'all, she gave me a lick on my face in the car. I'll never ever in life forget it. I kind of vlogged that morning, and y'all, I knew she was not coming back home with us. I knew she wasn't coming back home, because I was thinking, okay, so can we, because we have been trying to do everything that we can do to keep her as long as possible. And I said, okay, maybe Dr. Carpenter can kind of fix her foot and give her some more meds or something, and then we can pretty much take her back home. But that's not what happened. At that point, he was like, it's time. And it was probably time a long time ago, maybe a couple weeks beforehand, but Cam and I just didn't want to let her go. But she made it so that we had to let her go. I got on the floor with her, and I rubbed her the whole time. The vet took her back there to just examine her to see if if there was something. He came in and he was like, no. And God made it so that he had the availability to take us in, but I really think he just added us to his schedule, because he was only there for the morning, and he was only doing surgeries that day. And so in the midst of surgeries, he came in, and basically he said, it's time. And so he took her back in the room, gave her a Valium. No, he came in while she was still back in the room. He gave her a Valium to make her kind of comfortable. And then when he brought her back, he had her euthanation medicine, and I rubbed her and he rubbed her at the same time. Cam was kind of recording, and I rubbed her at the same time. The vet rubbed her the whole time, and she just went peacefully. And we are just torn in pieces. Our house is so quiet. She loved us, and we loved her so much. We are hurt beyond hurt. And I know people don't think pets as like family. That was our baby. That was our baby. Yeah, we are just walking around this house. Both of us keep breaking down. It's like we're trying to get stuff done. We had things in the work, and we are just like so broken. We miss her so much. We miss her so much. My stomach and my heart just hurts so bad. I have so much stuff I need to do around the house, and I just can't get nothing done. But y'all, thank y'all for listening. If you ever had to go through something like this, I feel your pain, and I'm giving you a virtual hug right now because this hurts so bad. I haven't been on YouTube in about a year now, maybe a little bit more than a year. It's just been so much, and I need something to come back, to help me come back and just get something in my life to make me happy. Not happy, but y'all, I just need something. And I'm thinking about coming back to YouTube, but I'm doing this video because we did get some information from the vet to help us with our grieving process. We're going to be going to some support groups. Yeah, because it hurts really bad. But yeah, so I'm still vlogging. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I don't know where this video is going to show up on the channel. We're kind of rebranding and things like that. So thank you so much for listening. And again, if you have a furry baby that has any type of issues and anything that is, you're trying to, keep them healthy, or you got that call from your doctor that you have to just make them happy and keep them comfortable, I pray for you. Y'all have a good day. Bye.